Ladies and gentlemen, Black Rifle Coffee presents Black-Hearted, where JT and Evan will get down on news, business, and banter. So sit back, enjoy your cup of BRCC, and let your black heart shine. Whoa! Hey, big thanks to Assuming We Survive for offering up their music for our intro. So if you want to hear more of that song, it's Assuming We Survive on iTunes.
Oh, that's very nice of them. And it's very nice of you.
Oh, thank you.
This is nice. It's
I know.
just jet time.
It is. It Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah,
and it's
jet
just
time.
It's our unloading time where we just get to essentially be assholes.
That's pretty much every time.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
It's like all day, every day.
And sponsor free.
Yeah, well, except for
Black,
one.
Black Rifle Coffee. That's it.
Yeah,
they all know. We'll give them special codes from Black-Hearted just so they know.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do we have? How many people do we have online right now?
It's 50-ish.
50?
50. I don't know. I can't get an update over here, so
okay.
we would have to run over to the phone. Eventually, we'll get a system like if we had an iPad, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just put the iPad on silent, and then we can monitor comments based on that.
Well, next time we've got the iPad. So what are we going to talk about, JT? What do you want to talk about?
For this episode, I want to talk about your interview this morning.
Ooh, the newspaper interview.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I was interviewed by my hometown newspaper, Lewiston Morning Tribune. Little LMT. That's what we call that. The guy called me a couple days ago. It's like he actually emailed in to the info box, hey, we really want to do an interview with you. I emailed him back. It's like, yeah, absolutely, man. So he calls me. He gives me like the standard bio questions, like, what'd you do? I gave him the rundown. He's like, I think it's really interesting what you've done with BlackRifle. And he goes like, why do you guys choose to market the way you do? And I'm like, well, we try to create value. It's like, regardless of what we do, we're trying to create value. And I go, I'm trying to create either a negative or a positive value. Because like zero-sum marketing is shit, right? It's just fucking.
And I've always said too, especially to other companies in the industry, whenever they sit down and talk with us, we're the only ones that have spoken to the audience the way they like to be spoken to.
Yep.
Like nobody has the fucking balls, or they think that they start a gun company and they have to follow like Target and Tide branding guidelines. Like,
makes sense. Yeah, do it.
But
do
I'm sorry, soccer moms don't buy a 14.5-inch fucking AR-15.
They don't. That's the thing. It's like, he's asking me. He's like, I just think it's really interesting. Like, it's really not interesting, dude. It's like, I don't give a fuck about one half of the country. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just like, I'll fucking push half of the country off a cliff if I wanted to.
And you told him this.
Yeah, because like, I don't, like, I go, I'm not going to mix any words. I'm not going to like try to sugarcoat it. I'm just like, dude, there are people that work in this country and there are people that don't work. And I'm not saying it's just Democrat or Republican. I'm just saying like, this is a working man's coffee. That's what it is. And it's not for fucking hipster, weirdo, single speed guys that like, work like 2 hours out of the day and they're complaining that their wrist hurts. And the guy was like, he was cool about it. He's like, oh, so it's not for like man buns and stuff like that. I'm like, absolutely not. If fuck no. Not only no, but fuck no. It's not for those dudes. Like,
and you know what my rant on this about people that do pretend work.
Yeah. There's a ton of pretend workers. It's like SEER school work is what I call it. Like
it's like they spend all day time, which hours that you're paying somebody, and their product at the end of the day is just shit. It's like what really is this? What is this?
It's like nothing. Once again, it's zero work. Like you're zero value in it.
We were working with the local radio station in El Paso a while back, and I had come to them with our own concept that we were going to do ourselves. Like I said, I was going to take Rocco around the city of El Paso. We were going to meet with local restaurant owners. We were going to create food challenges, and we were just going to videotape them. Like we were going to do this on our own.
Right.
And then the radio station was like, "Wow, that sounds amazing. Let us be involved," and everything like that. Well, one of the people that was involved with that, like, it was like every meeting, well, first off, they wanted to have 4 meetings a week
Right.
about this when it was
Right.
like, no, give us the time in the restaurant to show up.
Right.
We don't need to have a meeting Monday. We don't need to have a meeting Tuesday. Like, what are we meeting for at that
I
point?
don't know.
And then I remember the first time I had went to this meeting, they handed me this packet that was nothing but our social media pages printed out and stapled together.
Right.
So why are you giving this to me?
Right. Like, yeah,
Like,
as if I don't.
and it's
as
in
if
a
I don't
folder.
know.
Like,
Yeah, it's like you have done. Like, actually, this is negative work. Like, you have done something and caused like zero, not less. It's less than zero value because you've wasted
now
a bunch
you've-
of time and money.
somebody
creating
paid
something.
you
Yeah,
to do what?
to
To do what?
It's
And then you want
negative
to
work.
have 3 meetings leading up to filming something that is already cut and dry. We're showing up at a restaurant. We're doing a food challenge. Rocco and I know how to be on camera. We don't need to rehearse. We don't need
No.
a fucking script. Like, get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. Like, I mean, I got fed up by the second week. Like, what the fuck do you want to meet for? What the fuck are we going to meet for? Like, we're going to stare at each other and say, oh, well, here's the time and the location that you need to show up. Well, I already knew that.
Right.
Because it was on the schedule that we had 6 weeks in advance. Like,
Here's the time. But that's the thing is like people get like weirded out. We were having a meeting yesterday with one of the guys, and he's like, "Well, I didn't want to bother you," and I'm like, "No, dude, because I operate on this principle. If I don't hear from you, I'm assuming things are good."
Yeah.
So like he's like, "Oh, okay, I got it." I'm like, "Yeah, but if something's wrong, you need to call me so I can fucking fix it." Because if I just like I'm a fire and forget guy, man. It's like that's the way I
well,
like
silence is approval in our
to.
world.
Fuck yeah. It's like if I didn't come back to a guy that managed me, that was a good thing, and I didn't want them to fucking. They don't need updates. They just need the finished product. Like I remember, I was building a range out in Mosul. Like I was building this fucking range, and the guys were like, "We don't like." They didn't know what the fuck I was doing, like most of the time. But I would have like this range truck, and I was like going back and forth, and I'd cut like fucking 20, 30 different deals, like every which way but Sunday to get this fucking range built. And I had like, you know how in Iraq they used to either blow up the cars that were like left around just abandoned, or they would like scoop them up, right? So we had a bunch of these fucking cars that they left around. And I was like, hey, can we have those? So I had the guys from Marisol like load them up on trucks, pull them out on the range, and so we could go out and shoot them and throw frags at them and shoot 40,
Nice.
40 mic or whatever we wanted to. But I built this amazing facility. Like I had fucking berms and Hescos and steel. I had the welders like build a bunch of steel plates. I had vehicles out in the fucking yard. Like this is one of the best ranges, if not the best range in the country. And all it was like, at the beginning of the trip, I was like, hey, I want to build this range. And the dude was like, okay, sounds good. Come back like 45 days later, and the guys are like driving out to the range, and I'm showing them this, and the dude was like, I have no idea how you did all of this, but I fucking love it. And it was like me and KBR. You remember that shit? Like slide
God,
him a fucking fifth, a handle of booze, and like you get $100,000 worth of work done.
Get whatever you want
Yeah.
out there. But also a fucking annoying manager or a poor manager is somebody that checks in every 4 minutes. Like
Or like
that's what frustrates me.
I need a brief.
Hey, how's it going? Like, will you let me you gave me a suspense date. Why the fuck are you in my office right now?
Why are we going to talk about this for an hour?
Oh, dude, that
You
was my
don't need-
biggest frustration with the military was meetings.
Mm-hmm.
We do meetings, like, and that was like my throwing in the towel to get out. Was
Right.
I was sitting in the meeting in 2014, and we were talking about the same thing we were talking about in 2004, the same problem that had not been fixed, still just fucking grinding sausage. Grinding fucking
sausage. You know, we took that. Who did I take that from? Actually, I took that from Len. I
Who
took
did
that
you
from
get
Len.
that? Grinding
Len.
sausage?
Yeah, Len used to say that. Like, yeah, grinding sausage. I was like, I've got to fucking do that. Like, I've got to use that. It's because we constantly, like, I fight against the grind, the grinding of sausage. So if it doesn't have substance, get it the fuck out of your life.
Yeah.
Like, just get it the fuck out. Like, there are some conversations you're going to placate because you're having fun with it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is fun. Like, this meeting is cool. It's fun. whatever it is. But then it's like when a meeting turns serious and stupid, that's when I just check the fuck out. I'm like,
Deliverables.
get the
too.
fuck out.
It's like people will just yap forever. And the worst
Just to hear
the
themselves
worst,
talk.
Yeah, the worst person in big meetings is the one that is just
He
it's
reiterates
either there's-
everything.
Yeah, there's that or they bring up a problem that only affects them or like a small amount of people. That's like, yeah, we all don't need to hear about that. You can
None.
talk to him
Yeah.
later. Like, this doesn't need to go on in the giant forum
Yeah.
when you have everybody. That was my biggest thing in military meetings, is that one guy that would be like, well, I have some pay issues. Like, hey, go
Yeah.
talk to that fucking guy. You don't need to tell all of us.
They might as well just say, "Hey guys, I want to talk about some talking stuff.
I'm
and then
just gonna
talk a little bit
talk
more,
a little
and then
while."
listen to my voice when I talk to everybody. Look at how important I am when I sound like this, and especially if I get really authoritative and I'm like, "Wait, hey, ho, ho, ho," like, let me get out my knife hand and show you guys how fucking important I am. Like officers, I used to go into fobs and listen to some of these fucking officers and their just mouth trash that would fucking come out of their skulls. Where I had this joke where I was like, I went into this fucking fob south of Najaf one time, and all these officers are just like, oh, well, sir, yes, sir, and everybody's like, sir, and oh my God, sir, everybody's like saluting and fucking, oh my God, the dick circus just comes out.
It's a
just
fucking dick circus.
Just they like every major should have had fucking knee pads on, just to service every fucking colonel that was out there.
God.
And then they'd have like E8s that were making coffee. It was just one giant fucking orgy
Goat
of
fuck.
just like, just fucking colonels and light colonels and majors that were just so fucked up. They didn't know their ass from a hole in the
They
ground.
were just doing things. They were just grinding.
Sir, check out my collar rank. I've got this pretty collar right here. Look at this rank.
I
Look at this, Major.
propose we change the name of the talk
Yeah.
to the COC, the
Yeah.
Combined Operations Center.
Guys, I've got a new acronym.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's what drives me nuts is the name changes.
Yeah.
How many name changes have we gone through since the beginning of the war? Like,
Yeah, thousands and thousands of name changes with just fucking majors just making their careers on changing
Oh,
the fucking
God.
acronym.
the amount of things that were done and decisions that were made just for the sole purpose of them writing down something that they did.
Right. And it was like I really loved like the fact where I got to a point where I could just tell officers to get fucked. Like that was like
That is really stupid.
yeah, like straight up I'd just be like, you're a dumb fuck. Like get away from me. Don't even look at me. Just get the fuck away from me. Because as a contractor, especially with the agency, nobody even knew what
It was
rank
like,
I was. Like they didn't know.
They
Like
just don't know. They don't
Well-
even get. They can't even find it if
Well-
they wanted to.
well, one of my favorite stories was like we were cruising into the Chow Hall in Mosul. I've told you this like 1,000 times. Where the dude was like wanting me to combat park a fucking Land Cruiser that was a thin-skinned Land Cruiser that was on the base, and I just pulled in. I was walking in the Chow Hall. I pulled in. I got out of the car, and this fucking dude came running across the parking lot. He's a major.
I don't think I've heard this one.
Oh, dude!
What is
he comes- he
Combat
co-
Park?
Dude, you have to pull in backwards, and I'm like,
Why?
what the
You're on a
fuck?
fob.
Exactly. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm in a thin-skinned vehicle that doesn't leave the fucking fob because all it is just for us to drive around.
Yeah, it's just a fucking
Yeah, all it is.
like
It's a grocery getter,
Mitsubishi
man.
fucking
Yeah.
like the Land Cruiser type
Exactly.
vehicles. Yeah, I
And-
remember we had a bunch of those.
This dude came running across the parking lot. He's like, yo, my God, and he's a fucking major, and he's like, you guys got a combat park. You guys got a combat park. And me and my buddies are getting out of the car,
You're just
and I'm
laughing.
like, I'm laughing at the guy, and I go, you need to get the fuck away from me is what you need to do. And he's like, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a major. And I'm like, you're a fucking major douchebag. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. And he was like, I can't believe,
Oh my
and,
God!
and it was like, all of us pulled our IDs out of our pockets and we're like, sir, my boss is in charge of this base. And he will tell you to get the fuck
to
out.
just eat a dick.
No, we'll put you on a plane and get you the fuck out of here. is what we'll do. And he was like, so he like steps in line behind me, and I'm like, are you fucking following me? And he's like, no, I'm just trying to get some chow. And I'm like, God damn you.
Oh, God.
And I saw him again later on down the road. Like, I saw this dude again. And I was like, and the dude, like, kind of walks by, and I'm with the base commander at this time. Like, I'm walking by him, and I'm like, the base commander is like, you can tell by the presence of the conversation, the base commander's like, absolutely whatever you want, you know, like kind of one of those conversations. And the major's walking by, and you know he wanted to say something, and he like stopped and listened to the conversation. He's like, wait a minute, I can't touch that guy. Like he's fucking untouchable. I can't do it. It was like the pride of my combat zone experiences were like the like just fucking with officers and the higher rank.
I mean, I purposely would walk to the ops center without my hat on until someone told me to put it on.
Yeah,
just because I was bored.
I would salute with my left hand, wearing civilian clothes all the time. I'm just walking around in jeans with a beard, saluting with my left hand.
You had a guest here last week that knew one of the old like legends from my first squadron, and I was telling him the story. It was like my first week there, and one of the senior guys had taken me to the PX on Fort Bragg. And as we're walking into the thing, we see this guy pull in with his truck into this parking spot. And, you know, everybody feared him. He was that guy that was like, don't cross him, don't look at him, don't look at him. He's going to say something to us. He's going to make us run around the building for 4 hours. Well, this guy gets out of a minivan that his wife is driving, and he starts yelling at our dude, like that was my parking spot. Blah, 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 blah. And he pulls his ID card out, and he's like, I am a fucking major. And our guy just grabs it and just throws it.
Yeah, I love that story.
And the turmoil inside the major's head was like, his wife is watching, like, he doesn't know what to do. Do I go and pick? Do I tell the guy to pick the ID? No. He's already in the building now. And he just froze. Like, wait, that didn't work. Wait.
What happens?
Didn't work.
I used to always think that, like when you throw a wrench in somebody's fucking brain, when you it grinds up the gears. They just like the wrench gets in there, it gets caught, and it just gets stuck, and they're just like, "What the fuck is going on? I don't understand." Yeah. I used to always say, like, if a field grade walked into a fob early on, like there were all these like fucking majors and just every fucking idiot. Officer out there that was like sitting at a desk looking at fucking Blue Force Tracker, like doing nothing, like fuck off,
reading a war book,
like,
and then
fuck off,
talking about it like right after they read it.
There's a dude walking around with a fucking air canister, like spraying the fucking dust off. You know, I used to say, like, all a dude would have to do is walk in here, like, wave an AK around and go, get in your body bags. And they would just, like, whip out a body bag, jump in it, zip it up, and fucking die. They'd just be like, yep, okay, I'm following orders. You know, this is what I do. I just follow orders. And people would be like, oh, you are, like, the worst fucking person, you know, black-hearted, right? Just fucking black-hearted.
Hey, you told a reporter that when he said, don't you think it's odd that you're only catering to a certain amount of people in the United States? You said you would line up the other half and
push them off a cliff with a bulldozer. I don't give a fuck. They're worthless. They're fucking worthless. Like, there's people that work in America, and then there's people that don't work in America, regardless of whether or not you're Democrat or Republican.
I wonder if we're ever gonna get attacked, like, by some like Lena Dunham type, like, because they don't.
They don't know anything about explosives. They don't know anything.
They just don't realize, like, what would come down if they attempted it.
Well, I mean, and look at that dumb bitch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you know, she talks, but I mean, honestly, that's just like a talking fucking pig.
Yeah.
Like, she's really good for
just
what is she good for? Bacon? Fuck, I don't know. The bacon would.
Why did anybody let her on TV ever? Or care what she has to say?
That is some fucking liberal pipe dream horse shit from the video series, not the video series, the HBO series Girls, right? That's what she's popular with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never saw that.
It's all it is. It's these fucking snowflakes in New York, all these millennial kids that are like, you know, woe is me, life is so hard, I've got to think about my emotions every day, 365 days a year, 5,000 different ways, and I'm gonna fucking write and smoke pot.
This
and
is the
like it is
I mean,
just
it
the
is the
biggest pile of steaming
degradation
shit.
of like industry.
Oh yeah,
Because when these millennials are constantly searching for their fucking way to like get out of work by complaining about something or saying something.
somebody hurt my feelings.
Somebody hurt my feelings.
I
Like
just can't. I can't take it anymore. Those bricks,
lawsuits.
Those
like,
bricks are red, and red stands for Republican, and so I can't even see the building across the street. You know, like, it's just fucking like horrible. And I mean, you know, like I don't care, like Democrat or Republican. Like honestly, I've met really good Democrats. Because they're working people. Like there's a lot of people in Idaho, they're farmers. They're still Democrats or old school Democrats.
Yeah.
But they work. Like that's the difference, is that millennial, younger fucking guys, they're not going to work their asses off. They're not going to like chop wood and go into the fucking forest and like try to feed their families if they need to. They're going to be like, no, I need to go down and get on some welfare. I need to, get on some welfare because the fucking government needs to take care of me. They're 30 years old and they like moved out of their parents' fucking basement.
Mm.
What is that
Who's
noise?
buzzing? Is that my phone?
I don't know.
Is it up on
Let me
there?
take a look.
Yeah. We have to investigate. Audio show, but video's rolling. Just decline it. Yay!
Hey!
We're winning.
There we go.
Yeah. That's what you get with this podcast. We're working as
we're
well.
working.
So if it gets a little slow or someone goes silent for a minute, they're probably answering an email
Right.
and we'll have some cool guests too.
Who do you want to have first? Who would be the best guest you could ever have?
Travis. We got to get Travis.
Travis, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a hardworking mofo.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
He never stops.
He never stops.
And he's the most fun and down to earth, guy
Yeah.
that we've met yet. Like that,
Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday with Ethan, the Nitro guys that I went up with.
Oh, Ethan Hawke? He was here?
No, Ethan Roberts. Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke just stopped
Ladies and
by.
gentlemen, our next guest, Ethan Hawke. I mean,
Ethan
eventually, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
We got to decorate the whole building first and make it look good.
My friend, she drove him around because he has a book out, right? She's a literary assistant, is what they call him in Portland. She's a hardworking woman, so she's like driving all these famous authors around to their appointments, their book readings and signings and shit like that. So Ethan gets into her car and she said he smelled like hot garbage. Like he hadn't fucking showered in like 3 weeks. Admittedly, he's like,
God, that's
I'm not
weird.
showering this month.
Why?
Like because he's like it fucks with my skin or whatever. And she's like, no, you smell like you crawled out of a fucking dumpster. Like he's a hot mess.
I couldn't live with that myself.
No, and you look dirty, but you're not. That's the funny thing. Like
I look dirty.
yeah, I mean there are people that just look dirty. Like our beards don't help. They just like
No.
make us look fucking dirty.
It was funny. We said that nice restaurant the other day. We looked like
Yeah.
the most. We didn't belong there the most.
Yeah, we don't. Like we look around, we're just like, we don't belong here. at
Oh
all.
man, let's go back to our own. You know what we should do? We should invite Sheriff Arpaio out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we should also invite that sheriff from Chicago, the black guy.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
guy that always
dude,
wears a
that-
cowboy hat.
Mm.
I think you're right. He does. He wears. A
Oh
cowboy
yeah,
hat
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the
like-
one that always gets on and just like.
Yeah, he's like
No,
decorated.
those are criminals.
Yeah, those
stop
are criminals.
stop defending criminals. Like
Yeah.
we should send out nice invitations next year to say, "Hey, we would like you to come visit."
The Black Lives Matter guy that's like he's black, but he's like no, these are criminals. Like they're creating acts of terrorism. They're shutting down fucking businesses, and burning cars.
Oh my God, the highway thing is the most annoying thing.
Oh,
just need to.
I love seeing that chick get fucking
Oh
nailed
yeah,
by that car.
we need to.
I loved it. I'm like, this is fucking
I
Darwinism.
hope
This is
Trump.
it.
I hope Trump makes a law that says if you block a highway, you're no one's liable if you get hit.
Well, yeah, I
Like,
think
that
only
should be a
makes
law.
sense.
Like if you are going into a freeway, it's all bets off. You now you forfeit liability for your own safety.
Well, and common sense will dictate, right? Which is like, if you're gonna walk out in the fucking interstate, you might want to look both ways. Like, when did you learn how to do that?
Well, it's just that should be considered an act of terrorism because you know what? Like, your fucking protest shouldn't affect my life.
No, and
now that you are affecting my life, you now should be arrested. Like anybody that blocks a freeway should be arrested because you're not protesting anymore. It's not covered by an amendment when you're affecting other people's lives. You know.
Yeah, I guess like I should say that like maybe I was just like cruising around stealing shit and then just say, well, that's my form of protest.
No, you know what we do?
Be like, I just stole that guy's car. I was protesting. Protesting the abuse.
Let's use the technology we had overseas for good over here. So when those protesters are out on the freeway, we identify them, we get their home addresses, and then we go rob their houses because we know they're on the freeway. Like, so when they come back, they have nothing left in their house.
The mic is still fucked up. Somebody just hit me up.
Oh, man.
So the mic's still fucked up. Damn it.
Well, people are still watching.
Are they?
Yeah.
Hey, ask somebody and see if the mics are still fucked up.
Oh, it's super fucked.
Is it really?
Yeah. I wonder what's up.
Can you hear anything?
Well,
can we hear anything?
We can. You can keep going. Tell them a story or something. I'll try and fix it.
All right. What kind of a story do you want to hear? A good one? A story of hate? I don't know. Wait, is it that phone?
No.
No.
It's probably just that phone call fucked it up.
Oh.
We sound like chipmunks.
Oh, we do. How? What are we on anyway? Are we on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just wrap our show up.
All right. Now we've had some audio issues, so we're just gonna go.
Sorry about that, but don't worry. This is going to be posted on iTunes. You'll be able to subscribe just like you do with Drinking Bros.
Hell yeah.
So we hope you guys enjoyed the first one. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll probably be recording these around 10 a.m. So they should be live between 11 and 11:30, and you'll get, real-time, up-to-date news. We'll be looking at what
real-time.
We'll be
up-to-date,
fucking ranting on dumb shit going on.
Well, the next one will be after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be great. We'll be able to tell
Tuesday.
Stories about Christmas.
Oh, Christmas stories.
Oh, Christmas stories. All right. Well, fucking A, man. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. And
how do we end these things? What do we say? Just like thanks for tuning in.
It's like no Black-Hearted person of the month. Like we're not.
No. We don't need to do that.
No.
Like we could end it with like a Darwin Award. Like we'll take the stupidest fucking person.
We'll find the stupidest story and just say, hey, this person gets the Black-Hearted finger.
This one,
middle finger.
Yeah, check this out. Leah Dunham. Leah Dunham, you win today's fucking Black-Hearted Darwin Award, which is the person we wish the most would eliminate themselves from the fucking occupation of the planet with a stupid act. We wish Darwin Award. That's what we're called.
We wish Darwin would enact on you.
Yeah,
like
the Black-Hearted self-selection prize.
Oh, I like that.
That's
awesome. Wow.
Right.
Thanks,
Cool.
ladies and gentlemen. And for that, we will see you next Tuesday.